And whatever the time it takes, it's probably worth it because it will be with a buy-in of the community. Okay, so I would be hesitant to give a blanket authority like we have talked about in this memo. I would want you to come back to the council with that feasibility analysis completed, and you can put any sites you want on the feasibility analysis. I have no objection to it, but then come back with it and tell us what you think those sites are suitable for. And so I would recommend that Councilmember Foley, and that I'd like to make the amendment that the staff comes back after completing the feasibility analysis and gives the council a report on what they will be putting on each one of those, or what they have found to be suitable for each one of those sites. And
That's fine, although I don't think that's necessary because I think they have to come back to us.
No, they don't. So please listen to what they've told us.
Let's clarify.
Yeah, I want to clarify. I have huge concerns with that given the message, the budget message we all just passed and the goal we set.
Yeah, so we're asking for and there's obviously other memos here, but with our memo, we're asking for you to delegate the authority to the city manager, to me and the team, to not come back with construction contracts and further approvals of these sites. But we are committed to doing appropriate outreach once we've narrowed down the list. Is that correct, team?
That's correct.
And so there's also a memo, though, that's put here. I want to, since I'm going to be the one that's accountable for this.
But just to be clear, that's for the 9 sites.
That's for those. How many of your sites you approve?
Currently would only be 7, but Kelly Park would still be
That's
eligible.
Right. And then, but then there's additional direction in the Mayan, Jimenez, Torres, Cohen, and Davis memo that would give further ability to put additional sites on the table and do further as we might run across those and just report those back to council that would move forward through an info memo. So that would not require us to come back to the City Council for the approval of those specific sites. I just want to make sure that would be our marching directions. If our recommendation was approved and this piece of the additional blue memo was approved by Mayan, Jimenez, Torres, Cohen, and Davis.
And at least the staff memo, just to clarify, I'm not talking about the additional memo that I and 4 other council members are signed on to. The staff memo is responsive to the March and June budget message and the direction we gave, which set a goal for the city manager to create spaces sufficient for 500 people to be relocated out of unmanaged encampments in the waterways, contingent upon the council approving a group of sufficient potential safe sleeping sites by June 30th. Those were tied together.
That's correct.
So let me make one comment here to clarify. See, I have no problem with the contracts. You don't have to come get each one of the contract approved. I want you to come back when the feasibility analysis is done and you've chosen site A will get the sleeping site, site B will get the EIHs, or whatever that is. That should come for approval, and then you can take the authority for the contracts. I have no issues with those, but I want to make sure we have a chance to get a buy-in from our communities that this is okay with them. That's the piece I want.
Yeah,
and I think Councilmember Foley probably wants that too.
Yeah, and I totally understand what you're saying. We're trying to move as fast as possible, given the stormwater permit that we've just got approved. And every time we have to come back and do a stop at council, the behind-the-scenes work that takes to do that will slow us down. And even with the commitment to go as fast as possible, so I'm not confident if we do that direction, and I just want to be clear that we will make our goal. And so, if council wants to do that, we're certainly here to take the direction of whatever you end up deciding. But I want to be clear, since we're accountable to you, and I would want to set expectations right up front on and how we would hit goals or not.
Right, and I want to clarify that that is not for EIH. Okay, this is not for EIH. EIH is likely to be longer term. This is as aligned with the strategy that we all approved unanimously in the message. This is basically pre-approving a small subset of the items that have been listed in the staff memo that was published last week for the city manager to move as quickly as possible to hit the goal of 500 people in temporary safe sleeping sites so that we can get on the road to complying with the stormwater permit as we agreed to with the Regional Water Quality Control Board. This is not for EIH, this is not for affordable housing, it's not for motel conversions, it's not for anything other than the safe sleeping to get the 500 up and running and out of the creeks, which we all already unanimously approved as our strategy with the expectation that sites would need to be pre-approved for the city manager to move forward by the end of this month.